blasted. I don't know which ones are going to happen tonight. Probably put stuff away and sand the unsanded areas. Maybe blow it off. Tomorrow I'll probably start masking and prime it. And then it can sit here, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, that's that. Been a lot of fun. I'd like to thank everyone for letting me work on this. It's really been a pleasure. So, I did pick up. I did not finish blowing the garage out, and I did not finish sanding all my shiny spots. But I did sand some, and I did clean up and blow out the garage some on this half. Not over there. I'll do that after. Well, what happened was I found a couple cracks in the lead right here when I was sanding this. I'm not going to poly the top, but I was going to, you know, maybe do here, back mask off this. But then I found some lead cracks in here, so I ground those out, wire wheeled it up, Duraglassed it, glazed it, and so that's what I did there. This side I already sanded everything when I was done with the bodywork. So yeah, basically, I think all that's left on the other side is I just need to Scotch-Brite some stuff, start masking. So sometimes I forget how slow I am at masking. Not really, I know I'm slow. But anyway, the bottom of this car is nice. Everything's nice. So you pretty much have to mask everything. I got the jams all back taped, masked back. Obviously can't get any overspray anywhere, so you gotta do what you gotta do. And pretty much I'm only halfway done. I guess a little more than halfway since I got the back window masked. And then I saw a spot I forgot to fit the trim and had to add a little filler there. And yeah, so still got this side to go. So I don't know if I'm gonna get primer on this tonight. Probably not. I get it, finish masking it tonight. Prime it tomorrow, I guess. Quick look at how I'm masking the jams. Doing the old tape foldy backwards trick here. Don't leave a hard edge. There's a chip there I should sand out. Probably won't. And yeah, I got the, I run 1.5 inches along the front edge and let it stick out a bunch, so when you shut the door, it'll hit the back of the fender and fill that gap up. Good talk. Terrific. In case you thought I was lying, the door is now shut. There is now tape there. And it's super terrifically awesome. Alright, more masking. Okay, we're all masked up here. Part of this video is just going to be random nonsense for the people that are doing this car, in case they wonder why I did some things the way I did them. I ran some tape over here on top of the seam sealer. I don't want to put poly on top of the seam sealer, so in order to poly this, I'm probably just going to kind of spray from this side, focus on that. Here, I stripped the seam sealer out right here, where the Bondo is, but I still masked it like that. I'll probably just prime from here. Try not to get a bunch in there, but yeah, I'm not stripping the seam sealer out, so that's why that's like that. Not sure there's anything else. I think that was mainly it. You're gonna want to fit the top trim. It's not here. I know these kind of, I think, dip out right here for the corner of the trim to slide on top of the piece on the side. So there's no way for me to check that, so you may need to sand some out of here. So just fit the trim. I fit the lower ones. This is where there was a bunch of liquid nails filling the gap where the trim, and it was stayed on the trim when we took the trim out, so then there was a big divot here. I filled it in. From what I can tell, it fits pretty good, but new trim might be different. Same thing on this side. This side's got the dip still, for the most part, how I think it's supposed to be. Just fit them both. I didn't do anything up here, obviously. This still has glue and rubber and stuff all over the roof. I think that's about it. You can see I masked it goofy on this side over the hinge, and that side I just put the paper on top like I should have done this side. This side I was trying to do everything super nice and neat, and by the time I got over here I was just like didn't care anymore, but this is fine anyway. Shouldn't have wasted my tape on that side. Yeah. Should be good. I'm gonna put however much poly on here I feel like it needs once I start spraying. Yeah. When you go block this out, remember Durablocks. I mean, it's probably nice enough to use hard blocks, but this is driver quality job. It's probably over that right now. So there's no need to get carried away when you block her out. So I've went around and hit most of the bare metal spots with some etch. Not all of them, just most of them. Some of them I, didn't care about, so I didn't do them. But use the best spray can etch primer that I happen to have in the cabinet there, and yeah, so that's better than nothing. Back in the day we used to just poly over bare metal. It was fine, so this has just got to be that extra added bonus. I could have put some more right there. Didn't. Not gonna. Alright, well, let's get the garage heated up and I'll start mixing up some poly. Oops, he saw the video, called, wanted me to put some etch on that after all, so I went ahead and did it. So this is the poly I usually always use. I bought some of this to try it out, and since I don't have to sand this, we're gonna go ahead and use this. No, but anyway, I used it on the firewall on the Chevelle, and it was, I don't know when that was. Let me see what it was. 2/10/24. So it was almost a month ago. Not quite. As you can see, it hasn't shrank. And the other day I sanded on the firewall. I took a little piece of, or I took a, not a little, I don't know, I guess it was little. I took a piece of 180, sanded a little bit, seemed to sand fine. This hasn't cracked or shrank or anything. So I'm gonna say this stuff is just fine. So anyway, I'm gonna use that on this. If I don't have enough, I'll use that, I don't know. I'll mix and match them. That's good, right? You can do that. Cool. Okay, so welcome to what happens when you do something you know you shouldn't do, but that's what they want you to do, so you do it anyway. That is lifting the lacquer primer that is underneath. There's a tasty one right there. You can see it's brown right there. It's not lifting at all. It's lifting it. Here's, I scraped a bunch off here and then polyed over it for fun. By that point I already knew I was screwed, but you can see brown when you open it up. But it doesn't take all of it off, it just takes a few layers off, so it doesn't take it down to metal. So anyway, this is why you can't do that. And while I was doing the bodywork, well, I told you that this is not the way to do it. So yeah, now I get to fix this. Yeah, how do I fix this? Well, that's a good question. I will sand these down. I will glaze over all these areas, sand the glaze out, hopefully without breaking back through, so there'll be no exposed primer when I re-poly over it. I think yeah, I'm not sure. My only dilemma is whether I'm gonna re-poly it all or do all these spots. There's a lot of spots. I mean, it'd pretty much be this whole side anyway. Yeah. There's not too much on the fender and the door on this side. There's a few areas. But yeah, this fender and this door are definitely the best parts. So anyway, and then up here, nothing. So tomorrow I will start sanding out all these spots. Glazing it. More stuff that you shouldn't do. It should have been stripped. They didn't want to strip it. And in the end I should have just stripped it myself anyways, because it would have been less work than what I'm going to be trying to fix now. So anyway, that is the sweet action going on right here. It's pretty awesome. So here's what I'm doing. The minor wrinkled spots I'm blocking down till they break open, and I sand them smooth, and then I'm glazing over it. Sanding out the glaze without breaking through back to that primer. Here was that real bad spot. This is what it looks like. The bad spots I'm scraping off, and then I will sand and feather edges out, and then I'm glazing over the top. This one was real bad, I had to Bondo it. Just trying to do one panel at a time. The fender's pretty much done, then the door, then the quarter, blah blah blah. It's real bad down here. Once again, this is all gonna fail later, but this is not the way to go on this. This car needs stripped to metal. I don't know if I've mentioned that 5 or 6 times, but it needs stripped. Didn't get stripped. Not going to be stripped by me. I'm going to do that. I'm going to re-poly it, and it's going to leave. So yeah, it's just, I would have been better off stripping it to metal in the first place and just doing it that way rather than going back now and fixing this. It's more work this way, I think. So anyway, who knows what's going to happen to this car when it gets out in the sun after it's painted. You know, if it was mine, the paint would fall off. Somebody else's, probably lasts forever. You just never know. So that's what's going on here. I'm trying to get one panel done a day-ish. I can get primer on it again next weekend. It's Monday night. The fender I'll have done. I'm not going to finish the door tonight. So maybe tomorrow I'll finish the door and the quarter. Just keep working my way around. This side's not as bad. This fender and door I can easily knock out in one night. So yep. Good stuff. Fun times and things of that nature. So I keep fighting. You know, I'll get the little spots where the primer lifted off, I'll glaze it. When I sand it out, I open up some more areas, and it's like a never-ending cycle. But anyway, this fender's almost done. I'm going to let that sit because that's the problem area. I don't want that to dry overnight. The door from there down, well, the bottom I didn't block, but the bottom of the door is fine. Middle's done. The back around the lock is done. So tomorrow I need to finish the top of this door, sand these 2 spots on the fender out. Hopefully they're good enough. Have I mentioned this is not the way to do this? What happened here is this brown is lacquer primer, and it's soft. So pretty much everything I've put on top of it wants to come off. But don't do this. Never do this. I mean, if you do this, don't put polyester primer on top of it. I said do. But anyway, not good. Figured this would happen. Or I guess I didn't know it would happen. I knew there was a possibility that this would happen, because this is kind of what happens, which is why you don't do this. However, I'm doing this. I'm going to fix all these spots. I'm going to reprime this. And it's going to go away and be somebody else's problem. Because I've got other things I should be doing. Okay. So go ahead and tell me in the comments that this isn't the right way to do this and the reasons why this is happening. Because I need to know that kind of stuff. Terrific.